Good evening, Canadians. Dan Dubois, Canadian Combat Coalition. We're also known as C3. Tonight, as most of you know, I'm going to speak actually about Tommy Robinson. If you're a good patriot and you've been following the news, you know that Tommy was arrested, thrown in jail, had a 1-hour trial, was convicted, found guilty, and is serving a 13-month sentence. This is what I'm told anyways. This is what I hear. Facts could change, who knows, but this is what we're hearing at this present time. We're also hearing that there are riots in the streets in London, the UK. They're actually at the gates where Tommy is imprisoned, and it looks like there's a riot about to start. The police are facing off against citizens, and it looks like it's going to turn ugly. So just want to touch on this, that, to all the Canadians that think, all the libtards I'm going to call yous, that think that we don't have a problem here in Canada, that it'll never happen here, that used to call me crazy a couple years ago. I've lost numerous friends through this, many calling me nuts, an Islamophobe, and that I had nothing to worry about, that it'll never come to Canada. Why these people believe that Canada is immune is beyond me. Fact of the matter is, when you've got a leader like Trudeau bringing them in by the tens of thousands, and these aren't good people. They have no problem with breaking federal laws and walking right across our borders illegally, which makes them criminals, and they're being endorsed with a paycheck, and our RCMP are acting like bellhops and actually giving them rides to sanctuary areas and cities, and soon Ontario is going to be a sanctuary province. Well, I don't know what you guys think, but I'm not happy with this. If you see what's going on in the UK, freedom of speech is gone. Tommy was arrested because he expresses his freedom of speech. He's concerned with Islam taking over his country. Well, guess what? Islam is controlling that country. Islam is in control. Don't be a fool and think it isn't. Why else would Tommy's rights be stripped away and he be imprisoned? And in a prison, I thought it was 70%, but 90% of the people in that prison are Muslims. Why are the Muslims so overly represented in the prisons? Ask yourself that. Fact of the matter is, Muslims are only like 10% of the occupation in England. But they're sure making a lot of noise. And they're learning to control things. They infiltrate your government. And that's what's happening here in Canada. Iqra Khalid has infiltrated our government and is now trying to impose a thing like M103, which is taking away our freedom of speech. So soon, guys like me and other patriots that speak out could be arrested for saying what I'm saying right now. Is that fair? Is that living in a free country? Do you think Canada is free? Think again. Canada is not free. And it's getting worse. And with globalists like the Trudeau and the Liberal government being in power, these lunatics are bringing in people that hate us. And these people are infiltrating our government and soon will rule our government. And such laws, like the one that got Tommy Robinson arrested, will be imposed on Canadians. I say shame on the police. These police are upholding laws that I'm sure, if I was a cop, I wouldn't want to be arresting Tommy. I mean, what did he do wrong? A year? 13 months in prison? I mean, I've seen people get less time for much more severe crimes. Violent crimes get less time in prison. So this is clear that the agenda is to quell Tommy Robinson, take his rights and his freedom away, and shut him up. Because you know what? The truth sometimes hurts. The truth sometimes doesn't want to be, or truth, people that say the truth, people don't want to hear them. The elitists, these government officials, these people bought by Islamists, don't want to hear this. They don't care. They're going to be revered by Islam because they're jihadists. They helped bring this terrible agenda into the country. You know, and if you think that it's not coming to Canada, I'm going to say it again. Well, you know what? You're crazier than I am. I'm not the fool in this game. You are. Geez, I maybe shouldn't have done this outside. The mosquitoes are starting. So, another thing is, this is supposed to be a religion of peace. Have you seen and it's on now, Ramadan, have you noticed that the violence and the crimes escalate by these people? That's why they're overrepresented in the prisons. They break the laws. They're a minority in the countries, yet they're the majority in the prisons. Ask yourself why. The answer is quite clear. Because they do not want to obey our laws. And what do they use as an excuse? Religion and religious beliefs. You know, it's clear. No violent, it's having no effect on Canada and on Canadians. Well, we had a cop attacked in Edmonton. Don't hear too much about that anymore. Mainstream buries all this stuff. 10 people killed on the sidewalk by the van in Toronto. You don't hear much about that anymore. It's called top of mind. People have to be reminded of things all the time. That's why McDonald's was so successful, because every 5 minutes there was a McDonald's commercial on. And it stays at the top of your mind, and when you're out driving around, you want something to eat, you think McDonald's. Quite simple. Our beaches are sabotaged. They're putting glass and objects on our beaches. Why? Because they don't want us out there. They don't want our women out there in bikinis. They're afraid of women exposing themselves. Why are they afraid that women expose themselves? Because they have no self-control and they will rape these women. What's the matter with these men? Canadian men I guess we're a much stronger nation. Canadian men don't go around raping women because they're exposed and in bikinis. What kind, are you that weak? You know, that you're going to go and harm a woman and impose yourself on a woman because she turned you on? You're that weak? You have the problem, not the woman. But this religion, well, it's not a religion. This belief, Islam, and that's what I'm talking about. Well, the woman gets punished for turning the guy on. The guy rapes the woman, harms her, she's charged. Why? Because she turned on the guy. It's her fault. Upside down beliefs. Give me a break. You know? Now we got bombs going off in restaurants. And supposedly it's the Khalistan Sikhs that are claiming responsibility. And don't take my word for this. I'm just repeating what I've heard. But, you know, I warned that they're a problem as well. They believe in religious cleansing. They don't even give you the option of, do you want to convert or do you want to pay a tax? They just kill you. You know, you're not of our belief, you're dead. No questions asked. You know, the hijab hoax. This affected Canadians. This got our Prime Minister to make a fool of himself. We know he's a fool, but he made a fool of himself there. Comes running out and makes a statement, oh, Canadians are terrible, you know. And then not much of a statement when we find out that it was all crap, that it was taqiyya, that it's all about fooling Canadians and making Canadians look bad. Listen, these people hate us. They have an agenda. It's been in the works for tens of years, like 30, 40, 50 years. There's 2 generations in the Middle East that hate us. Why are we bringing these people into our country? Why are we supporting these people with our taxes? What's going on? Things have to change. And the way we can do it is, if you're a Canadian and you're a patriot and you love your country, start talking to your neighbors. Start spreading the information and the awareness that we're under attack and that our government is playing into it, that we're losing our freedom of speech and many other rights to come, that we will be imprisoned for speaking our minds, like Tommy Robinson. You know, I look at it this way. Stop rewarding illegals and start deporting illegals. Key word here, they're illegals. They're not here coming through the front door. I don't have a problem with immigration. The good people come through the front door. This is a slap in the face to the good people that are waiting in line and paying thousands of dollars to immigrate to this great country, that they're watching these illegal people breaking our federal laws and walking across our borders and being compensated and rewarded instead of deported. We have big problems in Canada, and the illegals is just one of them. The globalists and the elite are setting themselves up that they'll never, and their families will never have to work again. You will work for them while they stay on their yachts and reap what you sow. Amazon is opening a 1 million square foot store in Ottawa. People, oh my God, that's going to create jobs. It's going to create low paying jobs. It's going to create poverty jobs. It's going to kill mom and pop smaller stores, our tax base. That's our tax base, is these smaller stores, these Canadians that pay taxes. Amazon has found loopholes and ways not to pay taxes. So sure, they're going to employ people, and those people that are making pennies are going to pay taxes. They're going to end up supporting the country, while the people that own Amazon pay next to nothing in taxes. That's what's going on in this country. We're letting these big conglomerates and these big companies take over. And what do? We support them. We shop there. That's a problem. What's going to happen when there's only the big chain stores? When everybody has a job that's minimum wage. Middle class is gone, and you have the rich and you have the poor. And that's how the rich want it, and that's how they're setting it up. And Canadians are sitting on their butts and watching it happen and not saying a damn thing. That's why Canadian Combat Coalition, true patriots in this organization, get together and we do rallies and support smaller rallies, but we're trying to bring the biggest rally that Canada's ever seen, July 14th and 15th on Capitol Hill in Ottawa, where it counts. We're bringing it home. We're bringing it right to the politicians' front door that run this country. Yeah, they won't be there. Fact is, when they are there, good Canadians are also at work. And they can't go to these events. Well, this event will have thousands of people there, I'm hoping, and media will have a hard time not reporting on it. The politicians would have to be blind not to know that this event happened if there's thousands of people there supporting the ousting of Trudeau and the Liberal government. And don't be fooled, folks. Scheer, he's a backpedaler too. It seems like they all have a terrible agenda. They're all elitists, and they care for their own pockets, not mine and yours. So it's up to Joe Lunchpail, Canadians like myself and you, to stand up, join groups, and I know we're doing something right because I'm approving a minimum of 12 new members and supporters to our page daily. We're approving 60 to 70 posts per day. And I also want to tell people that if you're posting the same post as someone else posted, I delete it. I'm not going to post the same post over and over again. So if you're wondering why your post got deleted, if it's a popular news event, believe me, someone else shared it to the page. I approved it. Sometimes I'll approve it a couple times later on in the day or a few days later to keep it top of mind if I feel that it's important, if C3 leaders feel that it's important. And I want to take this time also to thank all the new supporters and members that have joined C3 in the recent days, weeks, and months. It's phenomenal. We're growing by leaps and bounds. We're becoming a well heard of, good patriot group. We do good things. We're criticized. I really don't know why, because we don't do anything wrong. We try to go on the positive, and we try to do good things for Canadians. We've had numerous events that we've attended. C3, there was a couple at the Pegida rally today. We had some members there today. Way to go, Jason and Rianne, and the others that showed up. We appreciate that. That's what it's about. It's about getting involved, getting the boots on the ground, and showing this government that we've had enough. And it's about groups supporting other groups. This was C3 supporting Pegida. There's the second time just this month that we've supported Pegida in an event. Pegida, they know that Islam's an issue, and that's their main focus, and we support that. Islam has no place in Canada. It does not meld with our values, our scruples, and our morals. And fact of the matter is, those are being eroded at an alarming rate, morals and scruples. I'm seeing patriots out there supporting just about anybody. They support criminals, and they really don't care that the guy's a criminal. He's trying to change Canada. Buddy, he's a criminal. If he was such a good guy, he'd obey our laws. He's no better than the guys crossing the borders. And some of these criminals are women beaters, and they're being supported. I don't get it. I really don't get it. My enemy's enemy is my ally. Really? So, if that guy just beat up your son or injured somebody in your family, guilty of violent crimes, you're going to support that? Maybe that's what the problem is Canadians are supporting anything and everything, and they don't know the right from wrong anymore. While at C3, we govern ourselves with a high moral compass, and we know right from wrong. And that's how we guide ourselves. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. I don't care if there are petty crimes. I'm not worried about petty crimes. But I'm telling you, there's patriots out there supporting so-called patriots that have violent crimes on their records. We don't support violence. That's why we don't support Islam. It supports violence. Go to our page, Canadian Combat Coalition National. That's the only page sanctioned by C3. And read under the About. There's a section on top there. It says About. Click on that About. That's our mission statement. If you don't agree with that mission statement, this isn't the group for you. But fact of the matter is, I haven't met anyone yet that's read that mission statement doesn't agree with it. We know right from wrong, and we are fighting for truth and justice for all Canadians. And we support the keyboard warriors. Keep it up, man. The pen is mightier than the sword. Don't let anybody disrespect you and say, you're a keyboard warrior. Fact of the matter is that keyboard warriors are some that can bring change. They have the time. Maybe they're on pensions or what have you, or retired, veterans, military, retired people, the injured. they have the time to get out there and to write to our politicians and show our dismay. They might have more effect than the people that are out there, boots on the ground. So I hate when I hear people disrespecting keyboard warriors. Keyword warriors. Keep it up. C3 respects you. And we like what you're doing. And we hope to see Canadians, I'm going to say it again, I keep plugging this event. I'm going to plug it till everybody's heard it or sick of it. But July 14th and 15th, C3 is hosting a rally on Parliament Hill in Ottawa. It starts at noon both days. We've got numerous speakers lined up. We're actually turning people away. We're going to announce very soon where we're going to be camped out. You're welcome to come camp with us. We're going to be camping at a campsite. I think we're going to go with what Annette Morrison suggested. It's a campsite with security and everything, 20 minutes from Capitol Hill. So it's probably going to be the party of the summer as well. So I want to thank, as I sign off, sorry, I'm getting distracted there, the dog. But I want to thank, as I sign off, all our new members and all our new supporters that joined our page. I want to especially thank our full t-shirt wearing members. These are guys like myself. We've got the t-shirt and we're active members, and we represent those of you that can't represent themselves. We stand up for those of you that are unable to, and we're proud to do it. So please endorse C3. Please share this video. I'm not the most knowledgeable guy, but fact of the matter is, maybe it'll convince your Islam supporting neighbor not to support Islam. A lot of people don't know what it's about. Islam supports kids getting married to adults. It supports cruelty to animals. And it supports halal food, which is also cruelty to animals. It supports a highly misogynistic type society that has no respect for women, treats women like dogs. Like, you don't believe me? Right from the get-go, they make their women wear a full burqa where you can only see their eyes. When I see people, I've seen it in Sudbury, I saw it today at Costco. When I see that, that's a persecution of a woman. It was like 27 degrees Celsius here today. You don't need to be wearing black and be covered, only your eyes showing. That's a persecution of women. That's a bad man that is controlling this woman. And Canadians don't believe in that crap. And, it is what it is. That's not the way that we're supposed to treat women. Why would you want to cover one of the most beautiful things on the planet? From a man's perspective, you got to dot all the I's and cross all T's. And let's support the LGBTQ from some women's perspectives. But women, probably, in my opinion, the most beautiful thing on earth. You're going to cover that with a blanket? Man, I take pride in showing off my girlfriend. I take pride in showing what I got on my arm. That's called the Canadian way. And having the morals and scruples that Canadians have, those women are highly respected, and we don't feel like raping them. It's called self-control. You know what I do is I compliment them. You look fine. You look good. That's what Canada's about, and that's the Canada that C3 supports. So I'm also going to plug that at 10 o'clock Eastern and 8 o'clock Western, Mike Traherne and Duke Willis are going to have a call-in show live on Facebook. We're going to post it on the C3 page. Mike Traherne and Duke Willis are both C3 members, full t-shirt wearing members. So we support them very highly, and I'll tell you, you want to hear two smart guys? These guys are smart. These guys are very well informed, much more than I am. I'm learning from them all the time. I watch their show, and it's unreal. They know what they're talking about. They throw out dates and stuff. I mean, man, at my age, I'm lucky to remember my birth date. You know. But anyways, again, I want to thank all C3 members and supporters, and all those watching. I love yous all. I love all Canadians and patriots. I honestly do, from the heart. And please help us support others, support C3 supporting others. Join our rally, and I hope to see you in Ottawa. Have a good evening. And start standing up for your country. Good night.